what keeps me up at night is that these new statistics that show 1 in 6 US children now is diagnosed with at least one type of neurodevelopmental delays and conditions that include autism, ADHD, cerebral palsy, and learning disability and intellectual disability, and so on. What is puzzling to us that these conditions have triples in the last 20 years, but we don't have a good idea what are causing this rapid rising in prevalence of these conditions that are devastating to the families and to our next generations. So one area we're trying to look into is whether environmental toxic chemicals exposures affect the mothers and the children's, especially during the early period of the development, can be causing some of these conditions in childhood.
I wonder what's the approach here? How do you conduct this research? Is clinical trial even feasible here?
So typically clinical trials is not possible in this area of research because it's unethical to randomize individuals for these harmful chemical exposures. So we have to adopt different approach. We recruit pregnant mothers in the early phases of the pregnancy, and then we detail the environmental chemical exposures that is happening throughout the pregnancies. And then we longitudinally follow the children over time with deep clinical assessment to figure out whether certain health conditions have been occur in these children that might be affected by these early life environmental exposure factors.
So what are the real-world impacts you have seen so far?
Some of our work have pushed the regulators and also clinical fields to recognize mother and child, they're especially vulnerable to these environmental exposures. What I would like to see is that if we identify important toxic chemicals that is affecting maternal and child health, we should push through regulations and programs that limited or regulated this chemical or eliminated them from our living environment. Because families wanted to know what products or what chemicals to avoid. Without good evidence, there's no way to go by it. If some of the findings that we found out reflect causal relationships, by removing these chemicals, we can really prevent the increasing trends of childhood adverse conditions that we are witnessing right now.